In today's digital world, crime has taken a new form, moving from the streets to the complex and shadowy networks of the internet. No longer do we picture bank robbers in ski masks or briefcases stuffed with cash. Instead, some of the most audacious heists in history were committed by hackers sitting in front of screens, with fingers flying across keyboards, exploiting vulnerabilities, and siphoning off fortunes in the digital ether. Among these cybercrimes, one case stands out for its unprecedented scale and sophistication: the Carbonaki heist, a coordinated effort that shocked the world and changed how we think about bank security. It all began in 2014, when a Russian bank employee received a late-night call. On the other end of the line was a man described as the most stressed-out guy the employee had ever spoken to. This anonymous banker feared his phone was tapped and insisted on meeting in person. When the Kaspersky Lab experts finally met him, he revealed the chilling details. The bank's most important server, the domain controller, was behaving in ways that made no sense. It was secretly sending critical data to servers in China. If this server was compromised, the entire banking network was at risk. Access to the domain controller was like holding the keys to the kingdom. It could allow anyone to do everything from viewing sensitive customer information to transferring millions of dollars unnoticed. Kaspersky's experts were stunned, but went to work immediately, analyzing every piece of equipment connected to the bank's network. At first, everything seemed ordinary. Then, they noticed something curious. Several computers had screen-sharing software installed, software that the bank insisted had never been authorized. Suspicion grew, and the Kaspersky team decided to perform an experiment. On one of the infected computers, they typed a simple message into a blank document: "Hello." To their amazement, the screen came to life on its own, and the words, "You won't catch us," appeared. The chase was on. The Kaspersky team soon uncovered that the attack had begun with an email, a phishing email disguised to look like an official correspondence from a trusted source. Inside was a malicious attachment, and when an unsuspecting bank employee opened it, malware was unleashed. This was a classic spear-phishing attack designed to look so legitimate that it fooled even the most cautious. Once inside the system, the malware allowed the hackers to watch everything the employees were doing. They studied banking protocols and procedures with an unsettling patience, like a ghost haunting the digital corridors of the bank. With this knowledge, the Carbonaki gang orchestrated one of the most intricate and lucrative cyber heists ever recorded. They didn't just steal money, they mimicked the very behavior of high-level bank officials. The hackers knew the exact steps needed to authorize transactions and used their understanding of the banking system to send money to carefully set up mule accounts. In some cases, they even manipulated ATMs to dispense cash on command, timing these jackpot moments so that operatives known as money mules could be waiting to grab the cash. It was a heist straight out of a Hollywood movie, except it was all too real. The Carbonaki gang managed to steal an estimated $1 billion from over 100 financial institutions around the world. The attacks were not limited to one region. They struck banks across Russia, Europe, the United States, and even Asia. In one particularly brazen move, they inflated the account balance of a random Russian pensioner from 34 rubles to 10 million, a mistake that could have exposed them, but was fortunately dismissed as a clerical error. The level of control they exercised over the banking networks was staggering. They watched as tellers processed transactions and studied the inner workings of financial institutions to the smallest detail. As the heist continued, international authorities began to take notice. The case soon drew the attention of Europol, the FBI, and multiple national security agencies. But the hackers were elusive, and despite the mounting evidence, tracking them down was a near impossible task. However, in a rare stroke of luck, Kaspersky researchers found a small flaw in the Carbonaki malware code. This flaw allowed them to trace a command and control server used by the hackers, which was located in the Netherlands. Working with Dutch authorities, investigators seized the server, uncovering the staggering extent of the operation. Yet, even with this victory, the Carbonaki gang managed to slip away, disappearing into the digital wilderness only to re-emerge later for more attacks. The Carbonaki heist wasn't the only monumental cybercrime that highlighted the vulnerabilities of our interconnected world. Another landmark case unfolded when the world witnessed the first known use of a cyber weapon, the Stuxnet virus. This sophisticated piece of malware was discovered in 2010 and targeted Iran's nuclear facilities. Stuxnet was different from anything that had come before it. It wasn't designed to steal data or money, it was engineered to cause physical destruction. Hidden deep within Iran's Natanz nuclear plant, the virus manipulated the centrifuges used for uranium enrichment, making them spin at dangerous speeds until they shattered. The operators at the plant had no idea what was happening. Stuxnet replayed normal sensor readings to make it seem like everything was fine. The digital weapon crippled Iran's nuclear ambitions, but also opened a Pandora's box, showing the world how vulnerable critical infrastructure could be to cyber attacks. Fast forward to 2020, and the SolarWinds attack demonstrated just how deep a cyber breach could go. In what would become known as one of the largest and most sophisticated cyber espionage campaigns ever, Russian hackers infiltrated the networks of thousands of organizations, including multiple U.S. federal agencies and major corporations. The hackers embedded malicious code into the Orion software developed by SolarWinds, a Texas-based IT company. When SolarWinds customers, including the U.S. Treasury and Department of Homeland Security, downloaded updates, they unknowingly opened their networks to the attackers. The hack went undetected for months, and even when it was discovered, the full scale of the breach was difficult to comprehend. The attackers had a backdoor into some of the most sensitive networks in the world, giving them access to emails, internal documents, and potentially classified data. The SolarWinds hack raised urgent questions about the security of global supply chains. If a widely trusted software provider could be compromised, then who or what could truly be trusted? The attack was a stark reminder that even the most secure systems have weak points, and sometimes those vulnerabilities lie not in code, but in the assumptions we make about safety. And if you think these stories are extreme, consider the audacity of a cyber heist that was as simple as it was devastating: the Bangladesh bank heist. In 2016, hackers attempted to steal nearly $1 billion from the Central Bank of Bangladesh. They used stolen credentials to gain access to the SWIFT international payment system and managed to transfer $81 million before a spelling error in one of the transfer instructions raised red flags. The word foundation was misspelled as fandation, catching the attention of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which stopped the remaining transactions. This heist exposed critical weaknesses in the global banking system and showed how a simple typo could alter the course of a multi-million-dollar heist. From the Carbonaki gang's patient infiltration of global banks to the destructive potential of Stuxnet and the sweeping scale of the SolarWinds breach, these cybercrimes have reshaped how we think about security. They have forced governments, corporations, and everyday people to rethink digital safety and have shown that the most dangerous heists don't require guns or getaways, just a computer and an internet connection. As we continue to live more of our lives online, the threat of cybercrime looms larger than ever, a silent reminder that our digital world, for all its convenience and innovation, is also a battleground. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and always remember, the next click you make could change everything. Cybercrime may seem daunting, but there are practical steps everyone can take to enhance their digital security. First, always keep your software up to date. Many cyber attacks exploit known vulnerabilities in outdated systems. Enabling automatic updates for your operating system, browser, and any essential software can close these gaps before hackers have a chance to exploit them. Additionally, Using reputable antivirus and anti-malware programs can help detect and neutralize threats early, providing an extra layer of protection against malicious software. Another crucial measure is to practice good password hygiene. Use strong, unique passwords for each of your accounts, and consider using a password manager to securely store them. Enabling multi-factor authentication, MFA, wherever possible, adds an extra line of defense by requiring a second verification step, such as a code sent to your phone. Be vigilant about phishing attempts as well. Always verify the source of emails or messages before clicking links or downloading attachments, and never share personal or financial information over unsecured networks. In the digital age, staying informed and proactive about security is your best weapon against the ever-evolving threats of cybercrime.